Hello, everybody. Hello. Welcome back to week, something. I think this might be week 4 or 5 of the talk show, which is really, really crazy. It's been so amazing. I'm only sorry that we figured out how to record these talk show episodes and get them on YouTube a week ago, but okay. Hakol Mishamayim. Everything is from Hashem, and it is what it is. But I do want to reiterate that if you have to leave in the middle or if you miss a part of it, it will be saved here on Instagram for 24 hours, and then it does go to the YouTube channel. And you can watch those. There is a playlist. It's right there on the YouTube channel. You can swipe up or you can type in YouTube/Peas Loving Carrots to check it out. Hi, Mom. I'm here. I see you. My mother makes her presence known with a bajillion emojis, but that it does in fact catch my eye. My mother's probably really excited for today because, like myself, my mother is a huge fan of Fromi, who is just so cute and wonderful. We're going to move fast because I do think Fromi has to go deal with Zoom classes with her daughter after this, so I don't know how much ahead we can run. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to get as much information out of Fromi as we can. And then if we have to continue the conversation, we'll continue it on our own without her if she has to leave. And also, it is Lag BaOmer tonight, so I can't have a 3-hour live, but maybe, we could push it to 2 hours. Let's see what happens. Okay, the reason I want to do this topic is because I actually don't hate Shabbos. I love Shabbos. I do have a difficult relationship with Shabbos in that there are different periods in my life where it has been very hard to appreciate or look forward or act like halavai, like even more so connect to Shabbos. Like connecting to Shabbos would be the highest level of Shabbos in my mind. But at some points in my life, it was hard to even just want to deal with Shabbos or like Shabbos or get through Shabbos. So I really wanted to explore that avenue. I will say that the comments were all over the place from people that one woman actually wrote, I hate Shabbos right now. And I obviously hate is a very strong word, but I understand completely that feeling that she was feeling because I felt that resentment towards Shabbos coming every week. And then one woman told me, I make sure to find time to read every Shabbos. And I was like, well, I don't know how that woman does that. Like, who has time to read? But now at this stage in my life, I do have time to read. So I think Shabbos is just like this really fluid relationship that you go in and out of. And I think ultimately we all want to connect to Shabbos, or at the very least find Shabbos relaxing, restful, and rejuvenating. So I want to bring Fromi on. Really, when I plan these episodes, I always think of like 1 or 2 people like as a possibility of who I would like to have this conversation with. When I thought of Shabbos specifically, I really thought of Fromi or maybe Shira from Swaddleby because I really wanted somebody, who was very open and honest. And like, I don't know any 2 more open and honest people on this platform than Shira and Fromi. And real with their feelings, real with their emotions, and also have little children in a bit of a different stage than I am, where let's say my oldest right now is Baruch Hashem Bli Ein Har 12, or 12 and a half really. And, it's a different stage than having 3 little kids at home. So I wanted to bring in that other voice. So we're just going to jump right on and bring on Fromi, like I said, because I don't know how long she has with us. And we're going to get right into it. Here she's coming. Dum, 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 presenting. What happens? Fromi, what happened? Oh my gosh, that was such a build-up. Okay, hold on. Let's do this again. Dum, dum. Wait, Fromi, it says you're unable to join. I see that your request, but it says that you're unable to join. Maybe comment here and I'll tag you from here. Those that first start to keep Shabbos, I believe appreciate. Oh, okay. So my mother's perspective is that somebody that didn't always keep Shabbos and then begins to keep Shabbos can appreciate Shabbos more. That's interesting. I don't know because in my mind, I always kept Shabbos. I don't remember being, small. Okay, here we go. Hold on. Go live with Fromi. Dum, dum, dum. Oh my gosh. Yes, Dahlia, we need a drum roll. Dum, dum, dum. Come on. So good to see you.
Virtual hug.
How are you?
Hello. Do you notice that I'm in my car? I'm around the corner because I had to get away from the kids.
You're a genius.
I was first hiding upstairs in the room, and then I hear bump, 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 and my baby's coming up. I'm like, that's it. I'm out of here.
It's the only way these days. It's the
I
only
know.
way.
And I explained to Rafi, I'm like, I'm on a work call, so I gotta run because he doesn't cop this what's going on. So
Well, I know. Ellie was shocked the other night that I knew how to melt chocolate chips.
Really?
From you? No, he was momish. He was shocked. He was like, "Oh my gosh, that's such a good trick. They're so shiny." I was like,
"But you're you."
I said to him, like, "What do you think I do here?"
I know. Oh my goodness. Okay, whatever.
Okay,
it's our
for
little
me, we have to jump right in because
okay,
you have like a hard finish, right?
Yeah, I think we have like maybe a little bit less than an hour, so I think we can.
So let's just jump right in, and then we have to do this again when we can just come on and hang out and really talk about the things that everybody actually wants to hear.
Totally. You know what? We should definitely make this. We could try to make this a weekly to 2 weekly thing. I don't know. That's
fine.
A little bit like
whatever.
Yeah, let's try it. Okay, good.
Okay,
so
what people don't realize is that we're both Five Towns girls. We
Five
grew
Towns
up
represent.
pretty similar. What?
Five Towns represent.
Yeah, we love the Five Towns, and we really do love each other, and we have like a pretty open relationship, and we both know that, like, being from is great, but it's also hard at times.
Very.
And okay, so I'm gonna tell you the first question somebody asked, but I'm only telling you this not to incite you, but because I want you to answer them. Okay,
fine. Let's do it.
Let me answer them because I'll answer it.
Okay, I mean we could both answer. We could bounce off each other.
The person asked, I don't understand why Frummy. What's the connection between Shabbos and Frummy?
Oh, interesting.
Not interesting. Wrong.
Oh, I mean, it's a duh. It's pretty obvious. Okay, you answer this though.
Okay, why Frummy? Because Frummy is a young, frum mother who's been keeping Shabbos her whole life, who wants to keep Shabbos. You are growthful. You want to connect to Hashem. You also, like me, know that connecting to Hashem is not always so easy. And you are a human being.
Yeah. And it's interesting because, like, I find that connecting to Hashem as you get older, and if you get married and you have children, you find different ways to connect, because as we're growing up, we're taught davening, of course, is a way to connect to Hashem, and through the mitzvahs and all that. Where for me now, connecting is I've spoken to you about this, is through my kids, and through teaching through my kids and keeping the traditions for my kids. But I also find it much harder because, like, it's really all on you. You don't have your parents on you. You don't have the school on you. And I find that responsibility, like, extremely overwhelming. And sometimes it could be resentment, like I could be resentful because I'm just like, I don't want to do it. I don't know why I'm doing it. I was taught this, but this and that, but then with the kids, it just like reminds you in a way. But yeah.
Because you want to pass it down.
Yeah. I mean, listen, that's what our religion is all about, is the Masorah, and passing it down to our children to keep, Judaism alive, for sure. So especially with Shabbos, I always said, and I tell this now to Serena, she's 8, and she's like, I hate Shabbos, whatever. And I said, I promise you, once you get to at least high school and beyond, you'll appreciate it more, because at least in high school, you realize what the beauty of sleep and how, do you know that now there's no such thing as sleep in general, but like sleeping on Shabbos, that it's a joke. Like, that doesn't happen.
So that is really what we need to get into today. I'll tell you, normally my questions are so all over the place, but I was really able to categorize the questions into 3 groups. 1, people's issues and struggles with Shabbos. 2, people's questions, like specific focused questions on how to cope on Shabbos.
Right.
And 3 were people's solutions. Now, I'll tell you the truth. I compiled all the solutions into a list of 11 solutions. Personally, I felt like only 2 of those solutions could be applicable to any woman with children in her house, no matter what age they were. I felt like the rest of them were really good solutions if you're a teenager, if you're single, if you're empty nesters, if you're whatever reason. But the truth is that Ellie was looking over all the questions, and Ellie said, he's like, this is so crazy. I was like, why? He's like, because I was waiting for somebody to write in, you know, I know Shabbos is supposed to be a time to disconnect from work,
Right.
but I have such a hard time disconnecting from work. And he's like, nobody said that. I was like, Ellie, because women can't disconnect because their work continues on Shabbos.
I know. And it's so funny because Rafi has, I mean, this is between you and me, he has a very hard time disconnecting because he's work. And then, yeah. And then, you know, he also works in a corporate world. So they're all still doing, and he feels like he can't. And it really, I see the struggle and the effect on him where with women, I mean, yes, we may have to disconnect like this, you know, with our phones and we're not doing this, but obviously with our kids, there's absolutely no way to get away from that. So that's interesting that Ellie brought that up for sure.
So you know what? I'm going to run through the list of issues, and you just pick and choose, like what you relate
Okay,
to.
I have an
Go.
issue actually.
What's your issue?
A big struggle that I have when it comes to Shabbos is the pressure of play dates.
Ding, ding. That was number 2. Number 2 on the list. Number 2 complaints.
You have no idea. Now, Ava, my 2 younger ones, Ava's 4, whatever, and they're different kids. Charlotte's 2. Serena especially, it's become such a pressure, and also it's like a very sensitive topic because it's already Wednesday. How come my kid hasn't been invited out? And it's like I do want someone to come over, but then the thought of me having to deal with like another kid and be the referee, there's always so many things, and it's like, okay, I'm gonna wait till Thursday, but then why was that person invited there but my kid wasn't invited? And it becomes and meanwhile, most of the time your kid is fine. They don't really, I mean, there are times when Serena's like, I want to go somewhere, and I'm just like, I can't ask someone, oh, they want to come to your house.
Oh, and you should move to Israel. That's totally acceptable.
Because
my daughter wants to come over for a play date, but I didn't invite you, so
I know there are times when it happens here, and I'm just like, and also like, listen, I don't necessarily have an issue. Like, of course, I would love for people to come to me, but it's also me only dealing with them. I am one person, and then I have, thank God, 3 kids, and then I have an additional 1 or 2 other kids there, and you know, I'm a chicken without a head, and you know, they're also again 8, so it could be catty, and this one's mean and that one's mean, and then and I'm exhausted, and I just want to hide. So you know, it's like I wait. Is Serena gonna get invited? Do I have to invite? I need to make sure she's busy, because also Serena's the type that she needs to be constantly busy doing something. I want to go here, I want to go there, I want to go there. And so it's like always on my mind, literally since Sunday. What am I going to do for Serena this Shabbos, you know?
It's really interesting because it was such a huge issue that people wrote in about, and it happens to be in Israel. We do not face that specific issue very much. Like, kids just play outside or they walk around or whatever.
Right.
Also, our communities are smaller. It's more contained. So there's just less of that pressure. But I just think the like, it's the same thing as inviting meals out, which is, this is what it was tied into. It's all this social pressure that we're putting on ourselves. Like, oh, they invited me for a meal a month ago and I still haven't had them back. I need to have them back.
I know. Like, and for me, when it comes to also company, a lot of it has to do with, I don't know with you, but like it's also your marriage dynamic, because for example, like, you know, your husband could have his little friend, I could have my friends, and then getting, you know, the chemistry together between couples and having this one, having that one. And then also the struggle for us is Rafi's rarely home during the week, so Shabbos for me is especially more, you know, important, where it's mine and Rafi's really like date night. Like Friday nights especially, it's like our date night, because we don't really go out during the week. So I take that time to really, you know, hone in on just us and not have company. But at the same time, we're in a community, we have friends, it's important, you have to have some sort of make some sort of effort, you know what I mean? And you know, you want to keep friendships going. And it's also what I find with having company, especially Shabbos days, that's what keeps the kids busy. you know? And a lot of times Rafi prefers Friday nights because he's a little bit more relaxed, where I'm just like, I'm dead Friday night. I'm tired. I want to go to sleep. And it's mine and your really alone time. And Shabbos day already, it's like that keeps the kids busy. And it also makes the day go by faster. You know, you're finished the meal at 4 o'clock. Oh, Shabbos is over in like 3 hours, you know?
It's true. It's so the thing is that I think as a woman, all of these things, all of these solutions have their solutions, but they have downsides, right? So like, yes, it's great to have company because it makes the Shabbos day go by faster, but then you're left with the after effects of this mess and cleanup and managing, and also the pre-effects where now Friday becomes this huge stressor of cooking a million things. And because the reality is, like, if I sit here and tell you, you know what, don't do anything, make it simple, serve on paper goods, do this. Honestly, I'm not serving on paper goods. If you want to serve on paper goods, that's great. Have me over. Honestly, I'm jealous of you. I think that's awesome. Like,
and that, I think people also don't realize with, you know, maybe me, I don't know, but company also is very expensive. And that is another conversation that Rafi and I have. I don't want to spend the money. I don't want to buy 3,000 meats or this or that. And then it's also like, oh, but we need to, you know, for me personally, like, it's easier if I can get a cleaning lady just to help me with the dishes, because also I know that people wrote the, you know, the cleanup, the mess, and that, you know, you don't clean dishes on Shabbos. I mean, people do what they want to do, whatever. But it's another pressure. It's another add-on. It's another stress, you know?
It's true. It's true. It's very, there's really a lot. And I think that what all of the issues, but like basically the issues were, one, some people suffer from like boredom on Shabbos, which I think is a completely separate issue than all the rest of the issues.
Okay.
So
for sure.
there's no turn off button for women when Shabbos starts. Shabbos, you know, Shabbos during Corona can go two ways. Some people say Shabbos is just another day of the week now where you're stuck with the same people. And then some people say, okay, but no guests, no pressure, it's more relaxing. Then an issue could be that, you know, they have a really difficult family. Like technically being stuck home with their family is really not ideal, which is mamish heartbreaking. Friday is overwhelming, and then they're exhausted come Shabbos. Kids equal, someone actually wrote this, kids equal no rest, no rejuvenation, no relaxation. She's not wrong.
It's true. I'm going to be honest with you, though. Definitely during this time, and I spoke about this very briefly, but during this time for me, Shabbos has become something where we're forced to shut off anyway. You know, there's no Zooms. There's no pressure with that. There's no pressure for some sort of routine or stability or structure. Shabbos right now for me is more of like a free-for-all. Do what you want to do. I don't need to be on top of you with going on the computer, not going on the computer. You know, I noticed that you said like reading, like who has time to read. I know people ask me this all the time. How do you have time to read? This might sound whatever. I ignore the kids. I'm just like, I sit on the couch. I let them do whatever. They come near me. I trained my mind to just, I could read a few pages. I could shut down a few pages, whatever. But the kids also, I think now know, okay, mommy's reading, whatever. I'll just go do what I want to do. And I let go of feeling the need of keeping them busy or making them go outside or making them do this or that. I find that now the weeks are so intense and so stressful and exhausting that I'm just like, I don't care. And it's honestly worked. But on the flip side still, I'm still exhausted. I'm not sleeping. I still have to be on. I still have to make sure they're alive, you know, and that they're not killing each other. And, you know, and you know, I don't, again, with Rafi, he's not the most, you know, he's tired from the week of working, so I let him sleep. But, you know, we try to balance it out a little bit. But I definitely think that Shabbos these days, because we don't have a choice of play dates, we don't have a choice of doing, you know, socializing. Yes, it kind of makes it a little bit easier. You know what I mean?
So interesting. I do know what you mean because I heard that from a lot of people. I told you Corona really got divided in half. For me personally, I'll tell you what. For me, when I was Shabbos with, when Mayor Jovi and Leah Bela were all three little, and Shabbos was a nightmare for me. It was mamish torture. Like, also we live in Israel, so we were having, and we both had siblings here. We were having seminary girls and yeshiva boys every single meal, and I was
I don't know how
23
you
with
do it.
3 little kids, and I was exhausted, and Ellie was traveling and coming home for Shabbos, and like I put myself, like, really what should have happened is I should have said, no, company, done, shut it off, but I wasn't confident enough or not whatever enough to deal with that. And then also being home with 3 little kids by myself was also not ideal, because
I don't know how you did that. I mean,
there was no good. What I should have done was hired myself help, and like and not bought an extra shirt or not bought the kids an extra. I should have saved that money and spent it on the help. But I also, you know, hindsight's 2020, and I didn't know then. But now, and then I sort of got to a point where now, you know, Baruch Hashem, like some of my kids are a little bit older. And the truth is, they're very independent. And I can even like sit on my purple chair and I can actually read now. And even if I fall asleep, it's okay because somebody's watching Eli Sheva.
I know. So my sister says the same thing. She's like, I took a 3-hour nap and whatever. And I'm like, what is a nap? But meanwhile, her oldest is also like 14, and he could take care of her baby.
Exactly.
And I'm just like, you know, my other sister also has bigger kids, and it's different stages.
Exactly. But I have to tell you, even with that, right now during Corona, Shabbos has been very hard for me. Very hard.
How come?
Because I have bigger kids. And bigger kids need to talk, and they need to socialize. And by the way, when they fight, when they fight, it's like when, you know, so Friday night we sit down, and what happens, I do let them watch a little bit on Friday, which I've discussed. For my kids, watching is just bad. While they're watching, fine, they're zombies. The second I shut it off, a nightmare, because it's a nightmare.
Oh no.
Because, you know, nobody can like act like a normal human being because they're upset that the movie got shut off. So Friday night we get there, and it's momish, like this is already the 4th Friday night in a row. Chaos. One person's screaming, one person's laughing, this person's screaming at this person. At some point, somebody starts screaming, and Mom did this and this, and I look at Ellie and I'm like, I'm sitting here silently. Why am I getting blamed? I'm sitting here silently. So now at this point, we've like come to, you know, expect it. Like this Friday night, Ellie, you know, he made Kiddush, and he's like, so who's gonna start this time? Who's it gonna be? But like, it's not. So it's I have found it very difficult for me. Like I'm in the house with the same people all day, and then Shabbos comes, and it's just more of the same. And you know, I'm just it's a lot.
It's a lot. I feel that I feel I can't breathe, honestly. I feel like I mean, even being here alone in my car around the corner, it's a nice getaway, because I don't, and of course, like, you know, someone said to me, because I said like, oh, when quarantine's over, I just want like a week for me to just be alone in my bed, like doing nothing and quietness. And someone said like, you know, I appreciate you know, liking the idea of being alone, but like it's overrated. And like, you know,
I feel bad. There's an aspect to that must be really hard.
I could understand that 100%, but you know, with Shabbos, there's no such thing as a switch where mommy goes off. It's still always mommy, but I want to eat, but I want this, but she's mean to me, but I want to go outside, but come with me for a walk, but I want this toy, but you know, and it's just like go, where I'm just like, oh, okay, you know?
Right? No, it's really hard, and like the truth is that I really do like to keep these talks really positive and you know, like goal oriented. But the truth is, at a time in your life where Shabbos is difficult, specifically with the issues of little children, Baruch Hashem, we have these little children. And it's not really going to change so much, you know, until your stage of life changes a little bit.
That for sure. It's also, I think, like a personality type of thing, where you do have people who are just like, okay, so there's chaos, whatever, I'll deal with it another time, or okay, they're so cute. I'm not that type of person. I get very tense, and I get stressed, and I get nervous, and so I need some sort of order, and I'm not a calm person in general. So when there's chaos, oh no, I know, oh my God, and this situation just, you know, exacerbates it. So it's just so therefore, like, you know, with the play date, so to speak, that pressure of just needing to get Serena that play date, because I knew if I don't get her a play date, she's gonna drive me crazy. You know, I needed that for my sanity in a way, where now it's like, okay, Serena in a way I think has come to terms with understanding, like, I'm not going anywhere and I can't ask mommy, where am I going, where am I going, where am I going? And so they have come to like the understanding, okay, Shabbos, no devices, whatever, but there's still that no shut off. Like I said, mommy, what am I going to eat? Mommy, I want this dress, I want that dress, I want this, I want that. You know what I mean? So there's still that element of just like on. We are never off, ever.
No, it's really hard. And so I think like the thing is that there's really like a few places, right, where there could be solutions. Like if you have pressure from play dates or company, don't do it all the time. If you have pressure, right, if you have pressure from cooking too much, cook less. So all these things are easy to say, but they're actually really difficult to implement.
Very, I know, easy for everyone to say, for sure. I mean,
it's really, you know, one person wrote to me, find a quiet place to daven. And I genuinely wanted to write back to her and video my house and be like, I live in an apartment. There's no, my bathroom is not quiet. There's no quiet place. Like, when I daven, there are people pulling my skirt down. That's a true story.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, that's how it is.
No, find a place to go, like find time to go to the bathroom alone. There's no such
What about
thing.
picking locks? They pick locks.
Oh my God, I know. Or bang, bang. No.
Regular.
No, I mean, really that to me is just unrealistic. Again, everyone has like their own, you know, spiel or whatever.
Later.
But I just find that, you know, people can say certain things and it's just like, okay, like that just doesn't work.
I think the main thing is that for everybody, whatever stage you're, like specifically in regards to Corona and this time period, whatever stage you're in, when Corona ends, you want to be in the exact opposite situation for a few days. So if you're in a house full of kids, you just want to...
And people should respect bros for a second. Oh.
And that's fine, because you know what? When the people that are alone right now, which is awful and really heartbreaking, they're like, I just want to be with people for a few days. And guess what? That's okay also. Everybody's going to need a change of environment after all of this, whether,
100%.
no matter what their situation is, and why, and everybody's actually entitled to that. Well, not, I don't know, entitled. Only Hashem could say that. But it makes sense that everybody would want the opposite of what we have right now, because what we have right now, even if it's not very difficult, it's just very monotonous. It's been the same thing for a lot of days in a row.
It's Groundhog Day all over again every single day. And try to change it up for the kids even. Like even Serena said, like, I miss my desk. You know, like even the little things. I miss just being in the classroom. And then she says, like, I really miss my friends. Like, listen, someone said this, kids need to be with kids. And for adults, you know, I remember very, very specifically, you one time said that you're not the type to just sit on the floor and like play with your kids, you know, and you play with them in different ways.
No. I'm not the type to play with dolls. I will sit on the floor. I'll
dolls.
Play-Doh, I'll color. I will not play with dolls. No dolls.
So with me also, like, I never was like that. I always did the mommies and me's. I went to the park with the kids, but I'm not the type to just sit and play house with the kids and do this with the kids. It's not my thing.
House is the worst game. House.
I don't want to teach her.
It's awful.
I have no idea. But the thing is that just to try and make things different for the kids, I struggle with that. I struggle with activities also because my kids are also not the type that want to sit for an hour and do an activity or do coloring. Like my Ava, especially, I do a lot of times her homework for her. She colors for 3 seconds and she's like, okay, I'm done. And you know, I used to force her, especially with like Pesach and everything. Well, we have to do the Haggadah and this and that. I've learned, okay, just let her do what she wants to do. And, you know, if she wants to play a game on the iPad, like I have boundaries. Like, you know, we took away YouTube because it's just, no, nished. But like.
YouTube is, I don't understand.
It's very, like, Rafi's like, do you see what they're watching?
No,
and,
but
like,
I don't understand. I thought YouTube had, like, there's no I don't even
There's
want to
no
get
like
into it, but
parental
there's
controls.
no,
Like
there's nothing. There's
we
nothing.
tried to
YouTube
do
is
that.
momish the worst thing.
It's very scary. So like we totally took that away. But like I'm not gonna be cuckoo and be like,
It's open.
you can't be on the iPad. You want to play a game on the iPad, play a game on the iPad. If that's how they're able to keep themselves busy, fine. The weather also has been so crummy lately
So
here.
1 second.
So,
Somebody just wrote YouTube Kids. I actually downloaded YouTube Kids when I realized YouTube was so bad, and I have to tell you, YouTube Kids is not better.
no,
Like,
I agree. It's not for us at least. It's not. They
in the beginning it is. In the beginning from day 1 and day 2, but then you realize that all of a sudden, like, it's just not better because things today are like rated PG, and when we were kids that was like R. Like,
I know.
It's not the same.
It's so
the
scary.
door is open.
Okay.
Oh, Ellie.
No, it's not just the commercials. I think it's just they find these things. Someone wrote the commercials, right? I find that kids are, with technologies these days. I mean, even though you and I are relatively speaking young, they know so much more than we do when it comes to technology that I'm like, how do you find this? How do you know where to click and what to write and what to do? Well, I think my heater's
1 second, Razy, I need to tell you, she wrote you can block videos. You cannot block videos as fast as they pop up. I'm telling you, I struggled with this for the last few weeks. I had to just delete YouTube. Like, you cannot.
So we officially deleted it now. We have a password on there. We took that away, and they threw a fit for like a hot minute, and then okay, on to the next.
It's like a detox phase.
Yeah, and it's fine. They haven't even asked about it anymore. But my point is that I am not the type, and my kids are not the type to just sit and color for an hour, or they'll play here and there. But I think what people have to realize and not be so judgmental about is you got to find what works for your kids. And if that means that they're playing these games or watching Daniel Tiger on the iPad, then so be it. Let's watch Daniel Tiger. And yes, you'll have, modifications. So watch for a half hour and then I'll take them out for a car ride for 20 minutes. But I find that people are so like, rah, 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 watching is bad or doing this is bad. And you got to keep them out. For me, sometimes, and I say this, the weather has been so crummy and it really has been, but you try to get them out. But when it's nice, for me, there's this pressure of, I need to keep the kids outside. I need to keep the kids outside. And I got to keep them on the swing. I got to put them on the bikes. I got to put them on chalk. And a lot of times, even the other day, it was beautiful. After 20 minutes, Serena's like, I want to go back inside. I had enough. You know what I mean? And I'm like, but it's gorgeous out. But it's gorgeous out. And we need to seize the opportunity. And she's like, but I don't want to be outside anymore. And there's constant pressure. Everything is just so pressure. You know what I mean?
It's really hard. I think though that you touched on two really of the most important points. And I think that we've really discussed the hardships of Shabbos, whether you're alone and it's loneliness, whether you're single and Shabbos is made for families and you don't find fulfillment in Shabbos as a single adult and you feel left out of Shabbos, whether you're empty nesters or God forbid a widow or a widower.
Sorry if I digress, by the way.
No, Freddie, that's what we do here. That's what we do here. Or whether you're a mother with a house full of children. I think that there's a lot of different categories of people where at different times in their lives, Shabbos could be really stressful. And forget even connecting, because that would be the highest level of Shabbos, would be bringing Shabbos in and then being able to connect to the holiness of Shabbos, but really just finding a way to just kind of straight up enjoy Shabbos would be the first level.
Yeah.
And I think we can segue into that, because I think you touched on the main thing, which is really we have to let things go. It is the only way to enjoy. But you have to pick what areas you can let go. Not you, the greater you. The area where letting go works for you. For me, putting plastic dishes on my table would not work for me. I would not feel better about Shabbos if I didn't have to do the dishes. That's not the area where I could let go. But where could I let go? I could let go on having my house be a mess. They come, they play, my house gets trashed. I don't even think about it. I'll deal with it Monday Shabbos. Put it out of my head.
And I just want to say that with you connecting with Shabbos, the whole connection, by you using your regular dishes, that's your connection to
Right.
Shabbos. And I feel like people may not understand it because we automatically connect like, oh, Yiddishkeit, oh, davening, oh, halacha, this, that. No, there are so many other ways to connect through Shabbos. With me, connecting is just being able to turn off the devices and not having those devices and actually like having a conversation with Rafi, let's say, you know what I mean? Because with Friday nights, because my kids are still little, like we put them to sleep, honestly. We have a Shabbos meal before. We put them to sleep, and I relish in that because that, like I said, is my real alone time that's my date night with
That's
Rafi.
amazing.
So, but Serena's getting older, and so
Oh
we
yeah,
had to actually,
you're already pushing your luck.
we're done. We're
You're
done.
done.
Like she stayed up already, and I'm just like, oh my God, I can't. My nights are done. My nights are gone.
I know.
So continue.
No, so I actually think like honestly, like losing our Friday nights, I remember that stage. I remember having Friday nights alone in the summer.
Yeah.
And then I remember, sort of forcing them to sleep. And finally one day Ellie's like, Danielle, we can't pretend it's not Shabbos for them.
I know.
They're allowed to sit at the table.
That there was like a guilt in me too because I want to make Shabbos special, and there's a differentiation besides shutting the TV, besides
But
shutting
you don't
the
want to be a
devices.
schmaltza.
No, and I mean, I got dressed today and I feel like a different person.
Right.
And Shabbos, even putting on like, I felt so special even on Pesach by me getting dressed and having the kids wearing a special Shabbos Yontif outfit. It was a big deal. And even for me to put some sort of, makeup on Shabbos this past week, it made a difference because it made me feel like it's a special day. It's Shabbos. I want the kids to see it. We're not just on our pajamas and our slippers all day, but like I said, to touch upon, there are different ways to make Shabbos, special. So for you not putting on plastic on the Shabbos table, like that, it's a big deal. But for other people, just to have that mess in the sink, for me even, it gives me anxiety.
Right, and you should use plastic because you should do whatever you can to reduce your workload and your stress load on Shabbos, whether you're alone, whether you're with people. If you're alone, you need to let go of something else. Yes, it's Corona right now. Yes, you need to be safe. Put on a mask, put on gloves, and take a socially distant walk. We need to let go of some of our anxieties and some of our musts.
Right.
For me, having a clean house is a must. I can't think if my house is not clean.
Totally.
But I either have to set the table really beautifully or I have to clean the house. I can't keep track of the kids
100%.
I'm one person. I don't have enough time.
I know.
So I have to pick one. And I made a choice and it was a tough choice. But it is hard. And I think also there are ways to find little pleasures for yourself where you can sort of look forward to them. Many years ago, like already 10 years ago, Ellie's rabbi told him, this is not for everybody, it's not like a passing or anything, that I had to switch from lighting candles to lighting with only olive oil.
Okay.
And which in Israel is easy. They sell it in the supermarkets, like Shem and Zayit Lamar. It's not difficult. And I switched. And when you fill a glass with olive oil, the fire burns for a very long time. Oh. And I wake up Shabbos morning and my candles are still lit. And the house is quiet. I get up before everybody, like with Elisheva. I sit down to daven, and my candles are still lit, and I love that moment. The moments 10 seconds later, when everybody pours out of their room, are chaos.
Right.
But I look forward to that moment, and when I see my candles Friday night, I'm anticipating that moment.
Right. No, that actually sounds so nice, and I actually think like I'm thinking now as you're talking about it, like what little moment can I have for myself on Shabbos before the cuckoo-ness that can come, that I can also try and connect somewhat in a little bit more of a spiritual way. I'm spiritual in some ways, and I feel like with everyone it's different, but I appreciate you saying that, and now I'm trying to think, what can I do?
I think everybody has to find their own moments, because as mothers, so much of our time is not our own, and the only way to connect, Shabbos is a time period, so the only way to tap into that time period is to somehow find a way to make that time meaningful or special, even if it's not a connection. Like it's
Right.
obviously I connect to Hashem when I'm lighting the candles, but that moment when I
Right.
wake up in the morning, now maybe it's about connection. Today it is, 10 years later.
I mean,
At first it
yeah.
was just about the beauty of waking up in the
Yeah.
morning and seeing the candles lit.
I
And then
mean,
it evolved into a connection.
for sure. But even like for me, with the idea that I could read a book and like that's something special for me because it's me and my time. And yes, the kids are around, but I've managed to try and just focus on something else other than the chaos of what's going on outside in the world and even inside in the house, but in a different way. It's just there's just less tension, but however, I'm still on.
By the way, I think that's why so many women are anticipating your book club, because not only are they connecting with you through the book, but it's a way for them to enhance their Shabbos. For me, we need the book club.
I know, and it's funny because I'm in talks also. I'm discussing with Blue Door Books actually, but I was surprised that a lot of people wanted to do a romance fluffy novel for a book club, and I'm just thinking like I'm really not sure how much we can delve into something like that. So I feel like I feel like I just need to give like 2 titles and just guys pick it and let's just do it. And because I still have that insecurity of like, oh, but what if people don't like this and what if they don't like that and
but
what if I don't
engage
engage like this?
Every book in a book club.
I know. And
that's okay.
I'm also learning, by the way, like I have to actually look up like questions, how to guide a book club and what kind of questions
good books have questions in the back.
I know. By the way, I noticed that. I actually just I spoke about.
Did you read? I don't remember titles or authors of books, but I do read also like a lot, and I go through books pretty quickly. But I just read one of the best books I've read in recent years. I'll tell you, mostly because it wasn't about the Holocaust. It was like mamish, like a break.
I don't really read Holocaust books. I personally don't enjoy them. I mean, there may be 1 or 2, but
I feel like this guilty obligation as a Jew to read every Holocaust book that comes out. It's like,
no,
really,
is that wrong? Is that wrong of me? Am I a bad Jew that I don't feel that need? I can't.
No.
I can't handle
no, because
it.
when they're fictional, it's even worse. Why do you need to write a fictional story about the Holocaust? There's a bajillion true stories.
I know, but then the thought, like, for my mind to actually go there, I personally, I can't handle it, and I also have an extreme fear that it can happen again, and the thought of it.
That's a different conversation.
Yeah. We'll talk about it another time. But
next week, yeah.
Yes. What book is it?
Danielle and for me, is the Holocaust coming back? Chas v'shalom. Mashiach will come instead.
I mean. But wait, tell me, what was the book?
It was about Alaska. It was
The Great Alone. The Great Alone by Kristen Hanna.
No idea. Amazing.
Yes, amazing. It was. Yes, that's one of her. I love her. And by the way, she actually wrote a book called The Nightingale that has to do with the war.
I loved The Nightingale. It was good, but it was right. Okay.
But it was different. But yes, The Great Alone was fantastic. I loved it. And she's coming out with a book February 2021. And please, Hashem, let Corona be away. Amazing.
Really?
She's coming out with a new book.
She's amazing. That book was amazing.
She's great. I love that book. That could be a book club book.
That's a really good book club book because there's so much messed up stuff going on in there.
I know. It was crazy.
I also really do want to go to Alaska. They basically have Shabbos for like 10 months of the year.
I know. It looks beautiful too. It really does. And it looks just very peaceful. I don't know. There's something
Maybe we should plan a tour. Danielle and for me, go to Alaska.
Let's do it. Hello. Yes.
How good does the salmon sound?
Taking out the 5-towners and putting them in the most extreme opposite place.
Well, that is what that girl was. That girl grew up in a real upbeat suburban.
I know. It was a pretty cuckoo, but then then she got acclimated and she became a real Alaskan.
Well, right. That book was crazy. But anyway, we really are anticipating your book, and I do think a lot of people are anticipating it for that way to enhance
I
their
know.
Shabbos experience.
To hands and Shabbos, and also for the connection and for the, just engaging, with each other. And I really feel like we have a very nice community of people really enjoy, they anticipate and wait also for my book reviews, and we get into, detail. So I really think it's great. I'm really I'm gonna get on it. I want to get on it. I want to do it right, but then I get into my head and then I get nervous.
You have to just
It's
start.
just like go. Yes.
Okay, I'm going to read through a bunch of the solutions, and then
I have like a good 10 minutes, I think.
Fine, and then you could just pick through which solutions work for you.
Okay.
One person said, actually not one person, I'm reading the list in order, and it's basically in order of who said it the most. Because I put tally marks, okay? People said read a book. Some person said make sure you allow yourself a cocktail, a beer, or whatever to take. People wrote to take the edge off, to make Friday night more enjoyable. One person wrote have a shot Shabbos morning. I actually thought that was interesting.
Oh, okay, that is interesting.
Find a quiet space to daven. Some people wrote that in regards to Shabbos morning. Some people wrote Kabbalah Shabbos. Buy treats and for your kids and for yourself. And the treats don't just have to be food. It could be a new shirt. It could be a new tichel. It could be a book.
Idea.
Buy something that you're looking forward to on Shabbos.
Right. Okay.
Start prepping Wednesday. Now, I really connected to that idea because that did change my life. Like, I am somebody who I need to sit down to a very, I need to sit down to a feast. I need to have a million salatins and challahs and fish and this and that. And if I just put two things on the table, it's not my menuchas Shabbos. But I also don't want to be a slave on Friday. But if I start Wednesday and I do my shopping Wednesday and maybe two things Wednesday and then Thursday and then Friday, it's much easier for me. And then I come into the Shabbos I want to be in.
Yeah. So, I mean, that for me, I know for myself, I can't, I don't know, just like the thought of it. Maybe if I have like a ton of company, I would like maybe cook something on Thursday. But for me, I feel like I was also like this in school with like papers. It's not that I procrastinate, but I'm not the type that is able to like study 2 weeks before. It's like I usually start studying like a day or two before.
Right.
So.
No, it's really hard. Okay.
So, but I appreciate that.
Work on relationships so you enjoy your family. I feel like work on your relationships so you enjoy your family every day of the week, though. That's not exclusive to Shabbos.
Right.
If that's possible. Maybe for some people that's not possible. And then I guess like find a way to make Shabbos nice for yourself, whether it's reading a book or, maybe going out to meet friends, something like that. I love this girl, Mrs. Bright and Sparkly. She's on Instagram. She's the cutest girl. She has great ideas. She wrote that the way she functions through Shabbos is by she created a Shabbos schedule for herself.
Oh, interesting.
And I thought that was brilliant. It never occurred to me.
Yeah, I guess maybe it didn't because I find that Shabbos is very not like unpredictable, but it's like you never know what's happening and whatever. Yeah, but maybe that would work. Maybe that would help a lot and like just keep the stress level a little bit.
Even if it was just like Rafi going to take a nap from 2 to 4, and then you saying, okay, but from 4 to 5, I don't want to nap, but I want to read for an hour.
Right. The truth is that like in the mornings he does let me like we're up, but like he lets me like sleep a little, like let's say from like 7 to 9, like I could have my time, which I really don't take for granted. But there are times when I'm like, you know what, you could take the morning, I'll take the afternoon. But he's like, no, like because basically you're with the kids the whole day, and he needs the afternoon to just not be with them. So but like whatever,
it's a lot.
Make it work. Yeah.
One person wrote to take a nap on Erev Shabbos. I don't know who that is. I respect you. I can't make it happen, but that's awesome. Whoever you are, you're a superhero.
Yes, and I envy you galore. Oh my gosh. Yes, I mean, I wish. Anytime to take a nap. Who takes a nap?
I don't know. And one person wrote leave breakfast on the table for Shabbos morning. I'm up anyway, so...
Right. Yeah. I mean, I like the kids. My kids are up at like 5 in the morning.
You also have to have much bigger kids to be able to trust leaving food on the table won't end up everywhere.
Yeah.
That's for a different stage.
Yeah. Everything is all relative to, again, like what we said, the stages of the kids. For sure. Okay.
One woman wants to know really like what is the best way to enter. Like there was like a bunch of very direct questions, but you only have like you have like really not so much time. So
Okay,
I'm
yeah.
just going to read you a few of the questions, and if you connect to any of them, you could just answer what you feel like.
Okay.
What's the best way to entertain toddlers? How to connect to the Suda when on a diet. A few people actually wrote that, even though I don't really discuss food on here usually like that because
Right.
you do what you want.
Yeah.
How can I connect? I'm so busy. I'm so busy on Shabbos. There's no way to connect. How
Right.
can I make it special for newlyweds?
Oh, that's nice. Well, first of all, we discussed like how do we connect. So we discussed like just making something specific and special
Like a
for yourself. Like,
moment.
yes.
And mostly like, how can I make it enjoyable for my kids? How can I entertain my kids? I remember when my kids were very little, I asked one of my sister-in-laws, I'm like, what do you do Shabbos morning?
Yeah.
Like, and especially when I just had Mayor, that was probably the hardest stage for me because he would wake up in the morning, Ellie would leave to shul, and then I was just like 5 hours alone with this baby. Like, I can't
Right.
sit on it. Like, it's not like I can't do anything.
So,
I was bored.
so
And she
when
was
we
like,
were
I
like,
bring toys into my bed. And I was like, that's such a cop-out answer because it didn't help me at all. He would
no,
fall off the bed. Like, if I fell
no.
back asleep. That
A
wasn't a
lot
good.
of times, like when we were, when especially when Serena was little, whatever, like I would go to, let's say, to my mother. I would walk to my mother. I would walk to my sister, or I would go to shul. Like maybe towards the end of shul because I wouldn't go there to actually be in shul because I'm taking care of the baby. Also when shul was open, there's groups. So like when Serena and Ava would be able to go to groups and I just had Charlotte, like that was also my time with Charlotte. But I would go to my mother or I would get ready to go to shul. So I try to avoid any type of playing because I just can't play. I don't know if that sounds terrible, but that's my truth. And I just try to make it work with other ways, just maybe just getting out or taking them on a walk, something like that.
I'm a big walk taker Shabbos morning.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I'll put everything on the plaza, 10 o'clock. But, it takes like an
yeah,
hour to get dressed anyway. And by the time you change a diaper, somebody else needs a diaper change. So start at
yeah,
9 o'clock. By 10 o'clock, you're ready to leave the house. Put everybody in the
yeah,
stroller. Go put stuff on the plaza.
yeah.
Walk out.
Even we're walking there are times that like Rafi takes the kids for a walk at 7 a.m. because it's
No, you're
like,
joking, right?
okay, like what are we supposed to do?
What? Wait, hold on. What'd you say? Right. Mayor's diaper will be changed, and then Joby needing his diaper changed. Oh, no. Okay, sorry. Ellie
What
finds this
about
whole.
people who don't
Ellie
go
has
by
just
the
been finding the whole Shabbos conversation so interesting because really for a man it's very different, right? Shabbos
very
comes in, you
different.
light candles, and the first thing they do is walk out to shul, where either it's a nice break for you, you're alone, you're with your friends,
Right,
or you are even on a higher level, you're right away getting to tap into the holiness of Shabbos because you're focused on davening or
right,
whatever it is, and then you come home
right.
to this beautifully set table and food and this and that. It definitely is easier to connect as a man in that way.
It's like the second I light candles, it's just like, oh wait, I forgot to make the Shabbos dressing. Oh, I have to
We
set the
discussed that.
table, or like I just need to make sure that they don't kill each other, the girls, or I'm just like I just want to go into bed.
No, it is. It's
So
really it's a whole thing. But I think that we did discuss like a lot of good solutions. Like you said,
yeah,
really letting it go. That's really like finding places where you can
yeah.
get help or let it go.
I think that that's like a general thing, but like especially now in these times, I really just tell myself like do not get so tied up in trying to entertain them. It's like think of Serena's 8, Ava's 4, like they can entertain each other, and a lot of times I say figure it out amongst yourselves. Like I am by myself right now. Like give me a minute, but like I really do try to not get too involved or too tied up with like, okay, what are we gonna do now? Where are we gonna go now? Or let's get them out now, or let's do this now. I mentally can't handle it. I can't do it. Otherwise, I can't breathe. So we gotta
We
breathe.
really have to be in touch with ourselves, and we really have to
Yeah.
find places where we can let go or we have to let go, and
Right.
we can't be martyrs. We just can't. We
No.
can't do everything, and it's okay. And if you're struggling
No.
with Shabbos, you're not alone. We also both struggle with Shabbos,
No,
and
for sure. And also accepting certain things. Like I need to accept that this stage in my life right now, like there is going to be no napping. I am going to have the pressures of, God willing, hopefully soon play dates. Which, I need that for my kids, so that's fine. Certain things, but also knowing that okay, I don't have to have company every week or every month. I have to make it work for my marriage and for my family life. And there are so many aspects that, you just have to come to the realization, like, that's not for me, and it's okay. You must.
Right.
So, yeah.
Amazing. For me, you are so amazing. We're really excited for your book club. Everybody send hearts for Furby's book club so that we
Send
can all
hearts, guys.
get that ball rolling.
Where are
We
my
need
hearts?
the
There's
book
no
club.
hearts. No one loves
What?
it. But no, but Danielle, we need to make this more of like a thing. We like.
Okay. Let's
I
let's
want
do
to.
this again. Let's do this again.
I
We
would
have
love
more
it.
topics for me.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Oh, look, we got the hearts. But I like what I love, especially like about you, and we spoke about this, and I think this maybe should be our next topic. I don't know. I think, get into the real, genuine, like,
The
hardcore,
kishkas.
like the no fluff about just life and about just everything in general. And I don't think we're afraid to say our opinions and say what maybe people think. And I need that, because I find that Instagram lately has become a little bit too fluffy and not real at all. And it gets me very nervous to the point where I just don't even want to be there.
I think also
So,
what I love about you personally and why I'm able to have those conversations with you specifically is that I personally I'm really not judgmental. Baruch Hashem, like I really genuinely love everybody. And I really just want everybody to love me and accept me for who I am.
yeah.
Because I accept
Yeah.
it. And I think both of us are so opinionated, but our opinion are really like they're directed at ourselves.
I know, it's so true, because you hit it on the nose. It's so true, because I also don't really find myself judgmental and whatever. Listen, again, with my friends, I could talk about this, that, but like you said, it's really about ourselves. And I just feel very, like, with you, very free, very open. And I find that with Instagram these days, a lot of people aren't like that, and it's really making me uncomfortable. So I definitely want to continue talking about this. And
Okay. We have to do this again.
Okay.
Amazing. From me, thank you so much for coming on today.
Thank you so much for
We
having
really love
me.
you. You're amazing.
I love you and I miss you.
Okay, we are anticipating live number 2 and
Yes.
the book club. We are really waiting for the book club.
Me too. I'm gonna get on it. I'm getting on it. Okay, fine. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for
I'll talk
coming.
to you later.
Love you.
Bye, everyone.
Oh
Thank
my
you.
gosh. Okay, I think you guys can see now why I really felt like for me was such a good fit for this topic, because it was so real and so genuine. And I think we really just got down to it. I really just want to recap, because the solutions and being goal oriented and not just sitting and complaining is really something that I'm not a fan of, unless it's like really tachlis oriented, goal oriented. And I think that the point of exploring all the different avenues where Shabbos can be so hard for people was so important to this conversation, because the best way to really understand how to fix the difficulties and the technicalities of connecting to Shabbos is really to first understand what they are. And I think that we see that there are so many stages of life where connecting to Shabbos and making Shabbos special is really, really a difficulty. And I think that what we came to through your comments, through the conversation for me, was that we really can do that by finding specific moments to tap into, by finding areas where we can let go. That area is going to be different for every single person. Remember that, maybe using plastic plates for you is the best way for you to connect, and you should 100% do that. Whereas maybe, letting my toys get trashed all over is the best place for me, but would give you anxiety. Everybody needs to look in themselves and not judge other people and not say, why is she using plastic? Why is her house a mess? Why aren't her kids wearing perfectly ironed Shabbos clothes? Everybody needs to find their own places where they can let go. And we can help make that environment of letting go more comfortable by loving each other and not judging each other. And I think that's really a key here. And of course, doing whatever you can, buying it, whether it's your love language to yourself is buying yourself a special treat, whether it's, finding an hour to be alone with your husband, whether it's finding a game that works for your family, whether it's meeting your friend on the corner right now in masks and having a conversation. I really, really hope this helped some of you, because Shabbos really is this beautiful gift from Hashem, and sometimes it can really feel difficult to feel the power of that gift. And I hope that we can all connect better and grow together. And I love these lives. Again, it will be saved to YouTube. Thank you so much for being here. You are so amazing. We will definitely have to have her back. And I'm really excited to tell you that our next guest is going to be Eli Beer, who is the head and founder of United Hatzalah Israel. He really wanted to come on here and talk to everybody about his experience with COVID-19 and what he went through and how it changed him. And obviously, you know how I feel about United Hatzalah. It is an organization that is very close to my heart, and I will always do anything I can to help them. And especially in Israel, its founder, Eli Beer, is Mamish Tzaddik. And that live is going to be Thursday. Tomorrow is Lag BaOmer. Wednesday, I actually have a Zoom call with Hank, so I can't do the live. So our next live will be Thursday with Eli Beer. I'm really looking forward. I love you all. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you Thursday. All right. Bye, everybody. Have a good day. Thank you, Rami. Bye, guys.